All right. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and
Hello,
Leroy.
Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, guys.
How are you?
It's not the same.
Hello.
No. Okay.
No, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good.
We're good.
I just saw a guy jump off my roof.
Huh.
Wait, what?
All right. Well,
You saw
it could be
what?
happening over here because, like, today it's like, I don't know what's going on. There's like drilling going on in the building. It's
Nah,
weird.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, man.
about a month ago, I called the guy to come give me a quote on a new roof. Guess they decided to come a month later. I don't know.
Interesting. Hey, roof to window. Can you go over to the Windowplex? Give us a weather
I got
update
you.
from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
I'm over here at the Windowplex. Gotta tell you, it's partly to mostly cloudy, light breeze out of the southeast. I'm gonna say like 5 miles an hour, maybe a little less. And the temperature's gonna be right around 90 degrees. Looks like you might have a pop-up shower here or there this evening because it's clouding up pretty good.
Wow. He's a golfer. How did he do, Vlad? Did you check in on that? Was he close?
He's right.
He's always right.
He's always right. It's like it's almost ridiculous to the point.
Yeah, he knows. He's a
There's
golfer.
something about throwing up that grass 80 times a day.
Hey guys, you watched the game last night, right?
Yeah.
Leroy, Tobin, have you ever seen a 6'5", 300-pound flanker?
Oh, he's not
And if-
300 though.
If you're allowing, and by the way, if they're allowing offensive tackles to do that, why can't Austin Jackson do that?
Because he's lined up in a. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he was lined up in a legal position.
Who?
Right? The tackle.
Juwan Taylor?
Yeah.
Not from what the official at NBC that was watching the game and Florio and all these guys were saying. They said he should have been penalized every play because he was
doing the shaking the
Oh
leg.
no! I know what you're talking about. No! I know what he's saying. Wait. I'm mistook because they have a big ass tight end or wide receiver. So no, he's talking about here's what offensive linemen do. They get back as far as you can before you get the warning. And so it looked like it got to the point where he looked like he was in the backfield.
bro.
And they never said it. They give you, but here's the deal. They never just called that. First, they come up to you and say, hey, you got to move up, right? Next time you try to line up and cheat, because it's the tackles do it to cheat. So they can get back on that pass rush.
Okay.
And usually they'll say, or even they do it with wide receivers. Hey, move up. They'll give you direction. And if you don't, so they never told him anything the whole game. Now I think the rule is, here's what the rule is. I'm almost positive. Your helmet has to be at a certain spot of the guy next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So if they look down the line and his helmet, by the way he was standing, was like the middle of the back of the guard, then they let it go. But it did, Vlad. You're right. It looked ridiculous.
It was weird.
And they were even saying, look at how he's cheating the system.
Shake. Yeah. It's hot all over the place, but the one place it's not hot is the frost going on between the Dolphins and the Chargers trash talk right now.
Really, you making stuff up.
No, I think this is
there
No,
more?
I don't know if he's making it up. This is not a Tobin.
Okay.
This is not a Tobin.
So one of the interesting storylines here is the Dolphins. Everybody knows they got Vic Fangio, right? Everybody knows that. But they also picked up as part of the staff this year, Ronaldo Hill. He used to play for the Dolphins. And he was last year the Chargers defensive coordinator. Now, Brandon Staley calls the defense. He's the defensive guy. He's the head coach. But he was the defensive coordinator for them last year.
And basically, let me just break down. Basically, what the defense coordinator does, even if he doesn't call plays, that's your day-to-day operations guy.
Yeah.
So when you go to put in a defense or watch film or something, a lot of times the head coach might not be in there. That's what the defense coordinator is for.
So now he's on the Dolphins. He left the Chargers. He wasn't fired. He left the Chargers for the Dolphins, and he's their pass game coordinator, defensive backs coach. So Vic Fangio yesterday was asked about being a resource for this defense because Vic Fangio, Brandon Staley got his real come-ups was under Vic Fangio before breaking off. And so, people are like, oh, he's a Fangio guy. He's from the Fangio tree, old Staley. And Fangio was like, no, in fact, better source for this team is honestly Ronaldo Hill. Here's Fangio.
Not too much. Ronaldo Hill, who's now here, was with them the last 2 years. So if there's anything to be had that way, he's a better source than I am.
All right. So he's giving a little rub to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's going to know this team better inside and out. He was there. Well, here's Brandon Staley. He was asked about Ronaldo Hill being on the Dolphins. And listen to this joke.
Little Frost? Little Frost?
Little Frost.
It won't have an impact because they're a lot different, and so are we. So this game has a life of its own, and this matchup is going to be a lot different than the last one.
No impact. No impact.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey. I got to tell you. And that answer came quick.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even like a thought. None. Zero. Nada.
Zero impact.
To be honest with you, usually when you have something like this, you look at the film last year and you see what your tendencies were.
Yeah.
And you just kind of venture off of that, right? Because they may say, oh, this is what he likes to do in this situation, and you do something different. But football is such that if they don't do exactly what you prepared for, you're still prepared, right? Like, let's not make it sound like, oh, no, our game plan was off. You still have plays that work for whatever defense. You just
one of the things is Mike McDaniel said this. He goes like, it's not like they reinvented offense against us. They just outcompeted us last year. He felt like it was
right.
It was it wasn't like they
usually, you know what that's an indication of? When you have a two-way go on offense, right? Coaches hate that because if you can't stop the run or the pass, they just pick you apart. And that's the thing where he says outcompeted, because the one thing you have to understand is that the running game is a gut check. We testing your manhood, right? We lining up right in front of you. We ain't tricking you. We coming right at you with our guys versus your guys. Let's see what you got.
So you agree with me on this, though? You think that was a little frosty?
Let's just say no.
Why?
Because I don't even know what you're gonna say. I don't agree.
But no. Because you said I read too much into the Tua Herbert thing yesterday.
You did,
but you did.
I didn't. But
okay.
But this one you can see it a little bit more.
I would say it from this standpoint. Normally, when a coach goes somewhere else, there's usually a couple of compliments before the nope, he'll have no impact.
Right. That's what I thought. I was like,
so there is some truth to that. But here's the other thing. I bet you Staley's looking at it like, dude, I gave you a chance and you gonna boat on me?
It was an odd thing.
To go from. But here's the deal. Can you really be considered a coordinator if the head coach calls the plays?
Right. It's like
I know what happens behind closed doors. I know that Staley's not in all those meetings and stuff like that, right? That's what the defensive coordinator does is put in the game plan or whatever, right? But keep in mind, when you're putting the game plan in, all the coaches have already had input on it. It's not just that. Those game plans are put in well in advance for that week.
Yeah, and I don't know what they ended up paying them because, I don't know what the difference is. The Dolphins, they'll spill money all over the place. So I don't know.
Hey, I know one thing. There's no salary cap for coaches.
Right. It's just, but it does seem on its face odd. Why would you leave defensive coordinator position for defensive backs coach? That's weird.
Because you really weren't the defensive coordinator, because most people consider You know who's this like? Who's the old Dolphins coach from Green Bay?
Philbin.
Philbin.
Yeah,
right?
we hear about that with like they have it's with the Dolphins right now. They have what the hell's I don't even know the dude's name. Who the hell's the offense? Frank Smith. He's the offensive
Frank
coordinator
Smith.
for the Dolphins.
Right.
He don't call plays.
Right. But here's the deal. Can you ever be considered for a bigger job if, even though you're the offensive or defensive coordinator, you don't call the plays?
I mean, McDaniel did. McDaniel didn't call the plays. He got a gig.
Yeah, but the way he was praised is a whole different.
He was
praised on a whole different level.
Yeah, but he was the only guy. The only team that interviewed him was the Dolphins.
Right.
Only team.
Okay.
You know, like Flores. I remember when Flores first was on the scene. Like a lot. Flores before he took the Dolphins job, he was getting everybody.
Right.
You know. So, but Joe Philbin, I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. See, here's the thing. If you lost Joe Philbin, I think you'd lie about it and you would say, "Oh, Joe was a great guy, great meetings guy." You know? You would be happy to lose Joe Philbin. I think he's actually pissed he lost Ronaldo Hill.
But that's what it sounded like. It sounded like he was genuinely upset that he bolted on him, right? Because it could have been a situation where they got into it one time and he's like, "I'm out.
I'm out. Going to
You know what I'm saying?" So, but here's the other man. I'm trying to think. It's hard, like, so it's the same situation that was in Kansas City, right?
With
Bieniemy. Yeah.
But Bieniemy still has the same job. Like he's still offensive coordinator.
No, he's not with Kansas City anymore, isn't he?
No. But he left for Washington for the same.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. You can't leave for the same job. So I bet you he's offensive coordinator, assistant head coach.
Yeah, I think he is assistant head coach.
See what I'm saying? You can't leave. You can't leave and take the same job
unless your contract's up, right?
Well, yes, unless your contract's up.
But then he leave because of the connotation that it's still Andy Reid calling the game, calling. So it was.
Well, it's odd thing. Yeah, you don't see it much defensive, but the thing I find it's odd to like. It's still we're talking about positions where a guy leaves and goes with the position up. He left and got added. It's odd for Ronaldo Hill to leave, have the title of defensive coordinator, whatever the responsibilities are, leave and take a position where you're under the defensive coordinator.
Right.
That's what's weird about it. That's what's strange.
Maybe he wants the tutelage of Fangio.
And Fangio, who once tutelaged Brandon Staley.
What's that? Whoa.
Tutelage.
What?
Yeah, tutelage, but he tutelaged Brandon Staley.
God. Yo,
dude, right now, you have blatant disregard.
Thing, dude.
Blatant disregard for the English language.
Roger just called right now from the everybody just called. Anybody that has to do with grammar, words,
I'm telling you right now, dude.
They just all called and said, "What did you just say?"
Tutelage, dude. He tutelaged Brandon Staley. And is it possible maybe back in the day, Staley didn't like Fangio because he was a bit of a meanie, a bit of an old curmudgeon grump.
And he follows up with meanie.
No, say that word again.
We got to go to break. It's a little late. Take a break back after this.